Heute wieder bei Vampyre. Allerdings ohne Stimme, da nebenan noch wichtige Gespräche laufen, dafür Stille herrschen muss, heute schweigend. Also geht es los. Ihr dürft das reine Gameplay genießen, ohne dabei meine sexy Game Voice zu genießen. Aber das Spiel ist unterhaltsam genug, also bitte. Los geht's.
If you spot one, fire. I like this silence. You're made!
No civilians allowed, sir. Are you stupid?
CM30 closed! This one's a top!
What
Stay back, sir! Oi, you! Stop there! Finish it!
I'll send you to hell.
Die, vermin! It's a leech! Kill it!
can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Get them weapons ready! We found...
I'll kill it! You're mine! Shit! Put an end to you!
Safer places to leave! Christ! He's dead!
It's locked, all right. Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck you all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley,
Bloody joke to you, innit?
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke?
Never heard of her. She's pretty, our kid.
What happened? Did you...
Hey, I didn't do anything.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity.
Sod off, mister. You ain't...
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could...
I said sod off.
What happened?
Hey!
Medication...
Sod off.
It's true.
I said...
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
You're being manipulated by these criminals. What's worse is that you're clever enough to know better.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
Goodbye, young man.
The Wet Boots will be proud of me.
Boy.
Someday you'll understand. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse...
Funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some...
Really?
Word is she ain't real. It's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible... Good evening, Ben.
I'm afraid...
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that... I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just frayed me last nerve.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad...
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think?
Most of them are afraid or desperate.
Do you know no...
I don't like to talk about
competition?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of...
Everything would be better.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Gangs are ruining this thing.
This district seems to get uglier.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. I cannot enter. I will return later.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me, just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. It's locked.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed.
Doctor?
How is
Business? I had no business. Between this...
I see.
It's no secret Joe Peters...
As a merchant...
What do you mean,
Have you...
Nurse...
Yes. Those bloody immigrants.
Dorothy Crane ain't even a...
That doesn't explain...
Your precious...
Right then. Show me what...
I should never have taken up my father's business.
Excuse me, sir.
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor?
Really?
I'm Joe Peters. made you become the local bull?
There's no pride in rough.
A job?
I got enlisted.
You survive at any cost.
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure.
Oh, do you?
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part.
Not for me.
This part.
Totally.
Have you heard Dorothy? Could you please tell...
She's a nice girl.
Goodbye, Mr. Pete.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never... Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he?
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box.
And no one...
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the wet boot boy.
What can you tell...
Colossus Joe.
Taking out your anger...
We've all had some rough time.
Taking out...
We've all had some...
What can you...
Colossus...
Taking out...
We've all had...
Goodbye for now. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize.
I am...
Son?
Do you know...
I don't...
So you...
Not...
Why do you hate me?
Before...
Have you any...
No.
Have you any...
No.
You sent...
As a trip...
Where did...
I...
What do you mean when you say...
All scientists are intact.
Quite a judgmental opinion.
But you...
Well, I suppose I can...
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the...
God will recognize his own.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Tell me to...
God,
fire...
You're
my... Joseph...
Vicar...
I have heard enough.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar...
Sorry, I'm new.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza?
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yes, this is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us.
What is a journalist doing in this?
He goes where...
That's quite honorable.
Not at all, sir.
So you risk...
Whitechapel is the crucible of so...
Have you...
I've had to...
What is a...
He goes...
I heard you're investigating an underground...
Not much, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid one of the nurses...
Ah!
Without a doubt, you are a...
I don't know much about the man. He's very...
He has no relative?
No.
Where can I...
He spends...
He never go...
No. A few days...
Really?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but...
He never...
No.
Really?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, miss. I know what you're... Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Stop Vampyre! Roll back to the hell that marred you! God walks with you. Back, demon, back! God, back to them!
This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix. This is not good news.
You are blinded by your false faith! Imprisoned by your...
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
The place is not...
Do you not...
On the contrary...
What can you...
Not much.
And...
Maybe I...
Perhaps you're just a...
One day...
In what this... If you... Such vivid...
Oh, yes.
In this... If such vivid...
Oh, yes.
Did you know the mute florist?
No, I didn't.
Are you not curious?
That girl...
I fear you are a...
Guilty as charged.
May I ask you a few...
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you.
I'm looking for
Dorothy Crane.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Good evening.
And good evening.
May I ask... What can you...
Darius...
Not in... What can you...
Darius... Not... Darius... Don't...
May not... If you... But I... But... If...
Well...
I'll leave you alone.
And good evening.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Still, you don't...
With thanks to my parents, actually.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first public...
I'll leave you... Hello again, miss. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. I know you... Very well. Goodbye, then. Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again? Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though. Maybe it's time to see if this cleaner is still working nearby.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
I need help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Aspirin and salicin, you say? Why not some warm milk and a kiss on the cheek? Where are the quinine salts?
Tried buying, borrowing, even stealing. There's none to be found, Doctor.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor. We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
You're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why...
She's
Doctor...
It's it...
So...
I know...
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
This one stinks already.
Die, vermin! Shit, that leech is fast! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Good evening, my dear
Goodbye.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the swan. When
So. Die Zeit der Stille ist vorbei. Können wir labern. Sehr interessante Ereignisse.
Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill him, boy! Vermin!
Okay, die haben mir aufgelauert, nicht gut. Me? Das war wasted. Ach, kommt schon. Zwei. Jetzt gibt's ein paar Kekse. Für Lancy Dancy. Dick drauf, bitte.
360 Kalorien.
Pro Keks? 3 Kekse? Was ist da drin?
Ich weiß es auch.
Leute, diese Kekse sind winzig. Und sie erzählt mir gerade, dass 3 Kekse 360 Kalorien haben. Die sind
160.
160, okay, das macht mehr Sinn. Also ich war joggen und ich habe trainiert. Also. Okay. Und gleich wieder da. Okay, da buggt es. Ist also richtig? Wenn jetzt das Spiel abstürzt, bin ich richtig sauer. Ach kommt schon, Leute. Das kann es doch jetzt echt nicht sein. Jetzt backt das hier rum. Das Spiel ist doch schon älter. Wieso haben sie denn die Babyfehler nicht ausgemerzt?